So my goals for this project were to see how students understand the core values at the center of the discipline of history, and to hear students talk about those values in class after writing their paper that's based around one person's life and the choices that they make, but then understanding whether or not they're able to contextualize those choices in that certain circumstance. I'm gonna come over here.
What I learned is just that the values one holds really overlap and influence. Like one value doesn't really stand on its own. It's affected, or at least closely related with other values. And in my paper that really came into play because I looked at Irene's value of like family and friends and religion along with just all of her life experiences, and they all overlap somewhere and they all affected her decision. It's not like one value affected her decision to do, you know, this one thing. It was really like everything came together and somehow affected how things then turned out.
My values are socially influenced. I guess I never really thought about it before, that a person's values can be influenced by society. Like I always thought like I have my values because of the way I was brought up, but reading the book and just seeing how, like, you know, especially with the way Irene, you know, at the beginning of the book, she was raped and she had this like, you know, fear, I guess, of men, but then she does what needs to be done in terms of becoming a major mistress to save her friends, and I guess it just really opened my eyes that, yeah, society and like social situations can influence your values. I just never really put that much thought into it before.
For something I learned more, I took that as like from the process of writing the paper. I learned more about like when you're analyzing something that happened in history or really anything, to look at all the different viewpoints and all the different people that are involved and affected and like their stance on it and their choices and circumstances. So I never really thought about it. A lot of times when you write something, you're looking at one person or one situation or one area of the topic, but for this you really had to look at a lot of different people and situations in different countries that were involved. So I think from that I really learned how to analyze it from so many different viewpoints instead of just one.
Well, it kind of relates to the last question too, but my values would be like in this whole thing it would have been, it was just family, friends that you had, because for me it hit more to home, and because like my family also went through war, and so, you know, having to hide out in the jungle, so then you really value and love your family more, and you really truly find who you are through the experience of war, and just questioning why did it happen, why is it happening to you, you know, and all that stuff. So then you value the people closest to you.